Pencil portrait tutorial. Here's a list of basic resources you may need for this tutorial.
I'm going to show you how to create a self-portrait using a mirror. To start, you're going to need a mirror. You need to set your mirror up so as you can see yourself quite nicely. I'm going to use a piece of A4 paper and I've got mine here ready. You need to choose a pencil, and I believe you need to start with a hard leaded pencil such as a HB or any pencil you have. If you only have a dark pencil, just press lightly to start with, and then you can start adding depth with a little bit more pressure later on. Once you've got yourself set up, what you're going to do is you're going to take a little look in your mirror and start by drawing out the outline of what you see in front of you. So you've got a piece of A4 paper. You need to make sure you're considering all of that space on your page. So when you start to draw out, press lightly with your pencil and just start by drawing the outline of what you see in front of you. And we want to draw our head and our shoulders. So if you start with drawing your head, and then what you can see of your neck and shoulders. Okay, so once you've got your space filled out like this, you need to then consider where your features are going to be placed. Okay, so if you wanted to use guidelines, you can do so, draw those on, or if you're happy just to rely on your observation from what you see in the mirror, that is also fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just really lightly plan out my portrait. So I'm going to draw my features on where I see them, and also use the guidelines to make sure that my proportion is correct. And I'm just going to draw my features on really lightly, just planning out the portrait before I start adding any detail. If you go ahead and start adding lots of detail to the eye, for example, and then you realise that it's not quite in the right place, then you will have wasted that time and you'll have to rub areas out. So what I do tend to do is to actually plan out, map out the face, make sure that everything's in the right place before I start adding the detail. So there we have it. Okay, I need to make sure also that I'm looking in the mirror at least 60% of the time and looking at my drawing 40% of the time. That way I'm going to get a really good accuracy and really good likeness, and that is what I'm aiming to do by creating a portrait or self-portrait in this instance. Okay. Once you're happy with the way that you've placed everything out on your page, you can start adding some finer detail. So I'm going to continue with my HB pencil for now, and I'm going to start adding the detail to my eyes. If you do feel like some areas aren't quite right, then please do be brave and use your rubber, rub out areas and just keep reworking. You never have to get it perfect straight away. Okay, so when drawing portraits, what we're doing is we're trying to observe where our shadows and our light is on our face. Okay, so rather than drawing outlines of features, we want to actually look at how they are creating shadows, because they are forms on our face and not shapes. So rather than draw the outline of our nose, what we're going to do is look really carefully at where the shadows are on our nose. So we've definitely got shadow around the outside of our nostrils, so we're going to just draw that on. Use the side of your pencil, and then our nostrils are probably one of the darkest areas of our face, as they are a deep hole. So you can apply a little more pressure when drawing the nostrils on. Still using a HB pencil at the moment, but later on we will switch to a softer leaded pencil to create some more depth. Okay, so we've got another shadow around the outside of our nose like this. And don't be afraid to press hard. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just showing that our nose is popping out of our face, is coming away from our face, which is then created shade and light. In the same way we've drawn the nose, we're going to draw the lips. So when we're drawing lips, we're going to start with the darkest area. Darkest area of our lips is where our lips meet in the middle. So the line that our lips create when they're closed. This is what you're going to draw. This is the shadow that is created. If you're feeling brave and you want to draw yourself with a smile, with your mouth open, please do go ahead. Just remember to draw exactly what you see. And I'm just drawing that line where our lips meet in the middle. Everybody's is different, so make sure you're observing what you see. Draw what you can see. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, where our bottom lip is popping out of our face, there it's created a shadow underneath. So I'm going to draw that in. Remember, it's not a line, we don't have a line, we don't have an outline on our lips, we have full lips, okay, so we're drawing shadows. And I'm just going to continue now just to draw in all the detail of my face, making sure that I'm looking very carefully in the mirror to see where those shadows are, using a nice sharp pencil to add all of that detail. And then also you can use an eraser to create some lighter tones, which is actually quite useful for creating lighter tones. Okay. Okay, once you're happy with the features and you've moved on to the hair, the best way of drawing the hair is to start off with a nice light pencil, draw the outline of what you can see. You would have already done that, but at this stage you can just start to perfect it and make sure it's accurate. And then what I tend to do is to fill the hair with a mid-tone first of all. So I will use a mid-tone, making sure that I'm following the direction of the hair, and I tend to do this in a sort of sketchy way. If you want to make yours more photorealistic, then you take your time with this part, but I'm just going to fill it with one tone, one mid-tone, Again, trusty HB pencil is really good for this sort of stage. And if I just show you this area here, so once you've got your mid-tone, to make it look realistic, we're going to draw all of the hairs and the different shadows inside our hair using a dark pencil. So I'm just going to select a 3B pencil for this and just show you how to add in the darker areas that you see. There's lots of different tones in your hair, and you need to reflect that to make it look realistic. Again, you can use an eraser as well to get some lighter tones. If you've got short hair, you're going to find this a little trickier, but it's the same method. So if you start with a mid-tone and then start adding a range of different tones, so at the moment I'm putting in a darker tone, just adjusting the pressure with your pencil to create a range of different tones. You can then, like I said earlier, use an eraser to add some highlights. And that works quite well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and complete the hair. Okay, so you're going to notice now where you've used the HB pencil on the facial features, it's comparatively quite a lot lighter compared to what we've used for the hair. So we've got a lot of depth in the hair where we've used a softer pencil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use a softer pencil in the facial features. So anywhere you've got your shadows, you're going to work over the top and add a little bit more shading to those areas. And this is going to create a better sense of depth. And then you can go in and add some more shading to the face as well. Anywhere you can see a shadow's been created, you can work over the top with your pencil. Don't be afraid to press quite hard with your pencil and add some really dark tones. In my experience, some people tend to be quite afraid of working too dark over the top of what they've done, but this is what's going to make a realistic portrait, so this is something you need to do. Okay, where I've got a black t-shirt on, I'm just going to show that difference just by adding a darker tone. Your face, as it sits in front of your neck, that's going to create a shadow underneath. So you put that in. If you prefer to create a more photorealistic portrait, you'll want to take your time with your shading and perhaps even using blending techniques as well. And there we have it, my self-portrait using a mirror.